We are all a little depraved and debaucherous. Here is the king of podcasts.
And welcome, everybody. This is the Depraved and Debaucherous. Thanks for listening in. Finding the show, communityradio.live, where you find everything about the show right here in one spot. Thanks for listening in. With the production being back, that means that I got my hard drive back. It got recovered, and everything worked out really well. So I'm glad to going to do that. Plus, now I have my deal where I brought the elements back on, and I'm going to make it really easy for me to do this show even more so. Like I said, I'm just trying to make everything convenient now. So the website now is even much more usable and functional than ever before. Okay, it's on an easy WordPress site. You can find all the past episodes there. You can also find out how you can, get to my other programming, which I do a lot of talk. And I have a couple of music playlists on Spotify. You can find all that at kingofpodcasts.com. So tonight on the program, AI, being your wingman. This is a dumb story. But look, people are going to try to use whatever they can to try to get ahead on dating. And if they think AI is going to help them out by writing something that will be just the right thing for a girl to be interested in, first of all, you're being insincere. Second, you're being hypocritical because you think that you're also downplaying and dumbifying the woman. You're thinking the woman is dumb, that she's just going to buy into some kind of poetic kind of feel that you're going to give to a girl. So you want to AI Cyrano de Bergerac. What's next? You're going to start using music to go and play AI to go and get a girl to listen to your voice. And then that's the other part. What happens now once the writing is not enough? What if you start having the voice? What if you start having the video and the face? What happens then? Talk about the ultimate catfishing. But this story's out here talking about it, so let's go and bring it in. Riz is an AI dating tool now that generates personalized replies with a screenshot of a chat. So 4 college students have created this app to struggle with for people that struggle to converse with people. And it's among the new AI dating tools, oh my goodness, to simplify modern dating. So this is the idea. It all came about on January 12th, and it's now available for download in the App Store and Google Play. So far, 130,000 users have already subscribed after it went viral on social media. This is ridiculous. So this is how it works. By uploading a screenshot of a conversation, the new app will generate a few personalized replies for users to choose from. Testing it out, Insider.com uploaded a screenshot featuring the line, "I think we ate at the same place." And then Riz would go on to generate same place. Oh, really? Maybe we ate off the same plate, like we're about to do one day. So you want AI to give you pickup lines, to give you quirky jokes and funny things to say to get you involved. Are you serious? Don't get me wrong. I can't knock anybody for being entrepreneurial and deciding to go ahead and play on the stupid that want to use this dating tool to try to get dates. Because what are you going to do? You're going to do you're going to have like a translator with you to help you write the rest. So you get the first date. What do you do after that? Do you think you're going to learn from the AI on how to be quirky and fun and cutesy and sarcastic and fun and bubbly? Do you think that's going to really work for you? So really, you are trying to be the ultimate catfish. I can't say it enough. It's just an idea here. So 4 college students, they're all sophomores at the University of California, Berkeley. One is from USC. They're science majors who stay in their rooms all day coding. So they're introverts. Okay. So they created the app with experiencing the pain of not fully knowing how to converse with people. And they also have another AI product, which is an empathetic AI friend, sounding eerily human and remembering previous conversations I had with you. So now we're going to do this. You're going to have your own personal Alexa. And once you do that, then that means since you don't have any friends, or you can't really make any friends, you're going to have somebody that's going to be like this robot here that's going to connect you. So we're going to have the movie You with Scarlett Johansson and Joaquin Phoenix. Are we going to do that now? Come on. This is the degradation of society. This is the degradation of dating in general. why people could even consider doing this type of dating is wrong. And this is because everyone feels like, well, they're hopeless now in dating. This is not going to get you any better dates whatsoever. Do you understand that? Do you see what's going on here? And then you talk about it's a tool to aim to assist with modern dating. Then you have another one called Keys AI, analyzing screenshots and helping to break the ice with AI conversation starters. This doesn't work. There's no human component here. Now, everybody wants to go and see if AI can do everything and anything. ChatGPT, not that long ago, was the talk. And some people think, well, this could be the answer to it all. It's not. It's not. Now, if you're looking to do this and you think it's enough for you to go ahead and get a one-night stand or a fling, maybe, I don't know. But then, if you're getting this kind of thing, all you're going to do is further the cause of saying, well, there's enough catfishing and enough fake people on these dating sites, I'm just going to get off of them. Maybe that's a good idea. But that's what's going to happen. And this is a thought where Hinge and Bumble will be a place you could use this on. Really? Maybe even Tinder. Really? I want to ask people, if you understand, do you realize that most likely by trying to do this, that maybe, just maybe, people can actually read the difference between what is AI written and what is human written? I don't think anybody understands that part. You are not going to talk like the app. You are not going to talk like an AI machine learning system. You are not a computer. Why do you want to talk like a computer? Why do you want to let a computer do that for you? Now, if you want to do this and maybe use a little bit of proofreading, but still, the quirky, fun jokes, all of that doesn't change anything. What about that whole thought about goblin mode? I thought that was the whole idea that everybody was talking about as well. But this is dating for you. This is dating. This AI technology will not help you once you go on the date. It will not help you with what to do when it comes to how to handle the date, where you go on the date, what you're going to do on the date, and what the expectations of the woman is going to be. This is not going to make a woman make you spend less money on her, okay? You're not going to have to get the gab to make a woman say, well, oh, we can just talk. We just meet together at a coffee shop and talk. No, you're not going to get that, okay? And then what if what if you have a language barrier and you're using this to kind of work off the fact that your accent's not as strong, and you have a strong accent and you might not be understood, or that you just don't speak really good English anyway? Like, you are setting yourself up for failure by using this. Setting yourself up for failure. I can't even tell you. Because this is like a really bad wingman. Oh, you should just write this. You should just write this. No. Honestly, I don't even know what you do, but the reason why we're at this point now and why these 4 coders are able to go ahead and create this technology and people are getting on and getting the app itself properly is because of the fact that people cannot date outside. People are afraid of meeting in public. And if you do, there's always every kind of distinction that could go on, that what is the woman going to think of you? What's the guy going to think of you? Like, no one can then talk to each other and just approach. When I go to the mall all the time and I just see people just walking around, there's a lot of single girls that I'm pretty sure I see that out there quite a bit. But no one makes the attempt to try to connect at all. That's bad. But if you meet somebody, well, let's just try to meet them behind a computer, behind a paywall, and then behind using a voice, a face, a likeness, or someone else's language that's not even yours. The more you are in person and up front and actually in front of somebody, the more authentic you're going to be. Do you understand? You're actually face to face. The sooner you get face to face, the more authentic. The sooner you talk to somebody and get to know them in person, then you actually date. It's always comes down to, when you're trying to date, you try to get off of there as quickly as you can. Now, the other problem is the justifiable reason why people don't do that is because, well, part of it is, the sex part. Guys, just admit that you're trying to go there for sex. Maybe it's going to be like that, but maybe you're not trying to go there all together. But at the least, create a date that doesn't give any kind of indication the sex is going to happen. And you know what? If you have to, just make sure you don't. I guess. But people have to get back to meeting in person. Actually, guys approaching and saying hello to a girl. The only difference now is that there's all these expectations we've talked about many times on the program before. Don't tell me there's not. Don't tell me there's not. I don't believe you. It's not that way. This show is depraved and debaucherous for a reason. Because the people that are out there are desirable, appealing to a man or a woman, opposite sex, same-sex partners, whatever. There's still expectations of financial. There just is. The only question is, how much are you going to have to spend? Because it doesn't matter how much you do, you're going to spend anyway. Just live with that. So if you're going to do it, then meet in person. Go out there and actually talk to people. Go to the clubs, go to the bars, go talk at a supermarket, just talk wherever, take the bullet, and get rejected. And ladies, start allowing some people to talk to you. Because what's going to keep happening is by continuing to go ahead and further along the cause and say, okay, we're just going to keep looking for money. We're going to keep looking for expectations. We want this princess queen type fantasy where everything's taken care of for you because you have pretty privilege. That's no longer going to be a factor soon. Do you understand? And then if it's not, see, it's a contradiction. Because by making these men go through hoops like this and go through where the experience of trying to go ahead and date you becomes unbearable, then why do you think so many guys are trying to just get sex? When the game is that rigged and difficult, guys will just try to go the easy way out. We know that. I know that. I did it. Okay? Let's just be honest with each other. What you have to do, ladies, you have to just be able to let yourself be recognized, be noticed. You reject properly. Listen, your beauty, your pretty privilege, your beauty allows you to reject if you don't like somebody. For whatever reason, you reject. That's it. And you're doing the man or the significant same-sex partner, potentially, you're doing them a favor by rejecting them. You're doing them a favor. Don't feel guilty about doing it. Just do it. And on top of that, take the date. If it's somebody that you want to go out with, take the date. If you don't, reject them. Move along. Do not stretch this out because it's not going to work for you. Do you understand? I'm only trying to help here. And I see this so often. And being behind this paywall, let me tell you, I've been on this myself. It's going to be 30 years next year. You don't want to do this. You don't want to be a part of this mess right here. There was a time when online dating, you could use it as a precursor, and it would be a way for you to meet new people, but then you would meet shortly after. And maybe it would take maybe a week or two and go through the motions of letting somebody get to know you. Guys, if you're going to let somebody get to know you, if you're going to have a woman ask you to get to know you, keep in mind that you need to realize that you need to test the girl just like she's going to test you. You need to test her to find out when she's getting to know you, does she actually care? Can she recall any things that you tell her about you? And does she ever actually genuinely ask you about yourself in terms of specifics about things that you talk about? Okay? And don't come in looking that you're going to try to act like a friend and you're going to be something more, because it's just not that way. You make your intentions known. If you care about a girl, you ask her about herself. Specific things she's talked about. You recall things. You remember things. Guys can do that if they really like a girl. But a woman can't do it if she likes a guy. Because this whole thought process, oh, no, you got to have to ask for so much and fiery hoops and obstacles and put all these hurdles in front of him. Stop it. Honestly, it's going to be the only way that dating works out well. If you want to work this out, that's what you got to do. I'm just saying it like it is. A couple of the stories I want to bring up here. If you get to the date, if you get the first date, you're actually sincerely trying to have a first date that's going to go well. Well, there's a story from your table that talks about turn-ons and turn-offs. 3 of them on first dates. A study has actually talked about this. So here's what we got. Zusk actually examined the first dates of 2 couples that analyzed the good and the bad. And I'll get list of do and don'ts for a first date. And this is what they brought up. There are 3 do's. Number 1, talk about children. The Zusk survey reveals that 41% of men want to discuss their date's desire, unwillingness, or inability to have children during the first or soon after. Yeah, so if the guy wants to be a daddy, it's a hypothetical, very, question that's very early on a date. But it doesn't matter as long as it's before things get serious. You don't want to fantasize about a life with someone who doesn't want the same things. Good call. Talk about children. That's not a bad idea. Especially when you're young, you should think of those things. Because you're asking yourself, if you're being sincere and asking, okay, you want a long-term relationship, then you ask about the things that come with a long-term relationship. You ask and gauge what they say. Talk about jobs. 66% of men want to talk about employment status during or immediately after the first date. Who pays on the first date? Maybe a corny joke based on his job, or if he doesn't find it funny, he doesn't call you back after. But you want to be able to talk about what you guys do for a living. You might not have to go too deep into it on the first date, but what you want to do is just get into it and say, okay, well, let me find out. Let me figure out where we are here. And that's fine. It's not a bad idea. If you want to go through and find out if somebody is worthwhile and they're doing something with themselves, studying or working, and you don't have to necessarily ask where the job is or this and that, just what kind of field, what's their career field, what are they doing right now? Or what are you doing right now to make ends meet until you get to your career field? Just find out what their life is consumed by. You care, you want interested, so find out. It's a do. Number 3, be honest and upfront. Or go goblin mode like some of these articles talk about, right? So if you have children, if you're going through a divorce, you should say that right away. 56% of men in the survey said that you should do that. As long as it's nothing too serious, like if you have a felony, your quirks can wait until you 2 are official. Now, 3 don'ts. Don't talk about how many partners you slept with. Right. We're all going to assume that you are virgins. Not virgins, excuse me. Men the same way, of course. But now, this is where this is one of the don'ts that I've always kind of struck with, that I've kind of talked about exes because I wanted to prove my point about I'm the kind of person that I am, and asking about what happened to their last ex. Actually, I ask about their exes just to find out how long you've been single. That's one of the first questions I ask. Why are you single? I don't know. Where else to go with that? I'd like to know why their last relationship went away, and I want to learn about the other person. See, here's my thing. I've been notoriously, frequently going on about analyzing a girl, understanding how she ticks. What is it that will make her attracted to me? And that's what I've done for a long time. And guys, I'm pretty sure you do the same thing. But I am analytical as fuck when it comes to this. And that's one of the things that girls would kind of point out and realize with me. And you know what? I can't help it. But there's a way in my mind that I feel like I need to have a little bit of that, because I need to be able to understand. Now, I did it because there were girls that I really wanted to go out with. And guys, you might do the same thing. But the difference is that if you have to be analytical and you have to try to get inside her head to try to get to her, that's probably not the girl for you. Unless she's absolutely interested in you. Because if you were trying the extra effort and being analytical and trying to figure her out, don't. I've done it. I'll continue to do it because I'm just an old dog that can't be done new tricks. I'm just not going to change. I'm stuck in my ways. But that's because I've always pursued girls that probably might not want to be with me, but I'll do it anyway because I want to have the experience. I want to have the time to date. See what happens. Because I didn't date a lot. Okay? No kids, never married, forever bachelor. I think I could teach a couple things about what not to do. And in my experience, I think I've learned a few things about what I'd like to have happen. Even though I'm not the best date in the world, even though I'm the most experienced, but I have this podcast that talks about it. See, I'm not the expert here. I'm just reading from everybody else. I'm learning along with you, still at my age. But either which way, I go through the motions here, and I say to myself, if I'm doing that part, I'm in this for the wrong reason. The girl's just not what I want or what I should want. Because guys, we all do this. We will date down. We will go after who is available or someone that we think might be a little bit easier or average or somebody that's much more accessible. We don't take the time to go after the girls that are really quality, that we really want, that we would want to wife up, that we want to put a ring on, that we want to spend a lot of time with. Guys, we need to be understanding. We need to learn how to be better at approaching the girls we really want and not being afraid of that. Plus being the best version of ourselves to get a girl like that. Because then hopefully we are good enough men to attract a woman that is absolutely what we want because we put the work in. And maybe we'll find a girl that will understand this guy is a good guy. I like him. I like where things are going. I want to be around him more. I want to get to know him more. Then maybe something's going to go somewhere. Because I'll tell you this too, it is kind of interesting where some of the people I see that are together, they're kind of equal because of the fact that they are, when they approached each other and dating, they actually were trying to find somebody that was better. Like the guys that are in good relationships, they usually find a woman that's very high quality, a good woman, and they hold on to them, they marry them because you know what? That's the best they're going to get, and best that many of you guys are going to get. So when you find a girl that is quality, that really likes you, you hold on to her, you don't let her go. Because they're hard to come by now. Those are a dime a dozen. They're not a dime a dozen. They are special. They're treasures. Hold on to them and don't take for granted those girls that are really nice. If they really like you and they're sincere about it, and you can tell, hold on to them. Don't let them go. Another don't in the turn-offs and turn-ons here, talking about money. Yes, women, if you're going to go on financial status, you are looking for your sugar daddy on a date or anything that has to just talk about money, oh yeah, you got to turn them off. 8% of men want to know about your financial status because we usually figure you're not going to have the salary of the business about what's going on, right? But men also don't want to hear about you asking about my financial status or asking what you could do for what you could do for her. No. Number 3, revealing your sexual kinks. No, you wait until you're actually having sex. Maybe when you know that you're going to get there pretty soon, you could do that. With sexual kinks, you wait until you're actually having sex and then incorporate it. You got to do that. That's the way it has to be. One other story I want to bring up and we'll wrap things up. The myth of being busy. This is another thing I always deal with myself. Psychology article here. Busy doing something but accomplish nothing. And they talk about a number of creative ways to help avoid busy work. So there are people who appear to be busy as often esteemed or viewed as being important at work, even though there's no meaningful productivity from all this busyness. And they talk about how many hours are wasted on endless meetings that go nowhere, paperwork that amounts to nothing. New research shows that 70% of meetings keep employees from doing productive work. Absolutely correct, sir. Can I tell you, at my company, working from home, hour a week. Start off the week 10 a.m. If we need the meeting, we do it. Knock stuff out. Housekeeping. Make sure everybody knows where everybody's on the same page. That's it. 1 hour, done. We don't need to go farther than that. And that's a lesson I've learned after many years outside of corporate. Corporate was all meetings. and nothing got done. And that is something that I really can't stand more than anything else, being busy. I can't stand when I have things that are holding me back from other work. But that happens all the time. Deal with clients. Clients alone make you work harder, make you work for crap you don't even want to deal with. It just happens like that. So they talk about there are 3 tools from a creativity and innovation standpoint to help you keep on track. So you're getting things done rather than just being busy for business sake. And then you have better time to do something else, right? Ask questions instead of just doing. We are driven by the task at hand. Completing the task is our only goal, but we need to broaden if we are, and to invite creativity or innovation to our process. So asking questions. Why are we doing it? Who gets the most benefit? Do we benefit internally as much as our customers or clients do externally? And how questions can lead to discoveries. Look at history. Tasks that are executed by your company in your career, you're focused on accomplishing tasks, but also then you need to find out where the tasks are leading. And you want to, you get proposals, try to find some ways to reuse the same proposals, tweak it, update it, do whatever you got to do. You got to cut corners. And then a macro view, taking a macro view and looking at the whole worldwide view of what you're doing on something. So looking at your task and looking at the whole gamut of tasks that you're working on. Organizing yourself. You don't want to get burned out. You don't want to get fatigued. You don't want to worry about things where when you're talking to somebody that you want to get to know, you're saying you're always busy working. And I had girls that will ask me, why do I work so much? Why am I working so hard? I'll explain it. But see, I have the option of saying, well, I don't have to work this hard. Hell, I don't have to do these podcasts. I could get all my work done in about 30 hours a week. I could take 4 days off if I wanted to. But I don't. Because I love what I do. And I put a lot of time into what I do. And I enjoy it. I enjoy sitting in my lazy boy chair right here in front of this microphone, doing this podcast on Tuesdays. And the fact that I quit doing the mini episodes, I noticed that the audience is getting better doing the weekly format. Thank you very much for listening on the weekly format, because seeing all those small mini episodes makes it harder for you to catch them. Right. And maybe just putting them all together makes it easier. Yes, 30 minutes compact. You get it. You get your nice little morsel of this program and you're doing your thing. So keep that in mind as well. You don't want to try to not stay so busy just to be busy. Find ways to not be so busy. You want to have time for fun. You want to have time to be depraved and debaucherous. Thank you for listening for another edition of Depraved and Debaucherous, a part of the KOP Radio Network. The website is ddradio.live. You can also catch past episodes by going to ddradio.live, or you can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, the Spotify, and all other major podcast portals. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Figa Podcast. I'm all right there for you. And also catch my other shows, which are the Wrestling is Real Wrestling Podcast and the Broadcast Podcast. You can find all those shows and all my music programming, my Spotify curated playlist. You can find that at kingofpodcasts.com.